Since day one, that ain't true. That's what you just
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to the Colosseum. Hope everybody's doing all right today. We're doing a Colosseum Daily here. We're going to be talking about, well, how can I say this? Read the room. Your house is burning, butthurt blue. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock, President Donald Trump gave an address to the joint session of Congress. And during that address, well, how can I say this? Democrats acted a plain fool. They embarrassed themselves in multiple ways. And it's crazy. What's going on, Adric? So we're certainly not going to go over the whole speech Donald Trump has, but there are a few things I would like to highlight about this speech on Thursday.
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
Once again, the smart move.
Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Now, as you can see, now let's take a look at this shot right here. As you can see over here, look at all the stone cold faces over here. Laughing over here, stone faces over there. That is your Democrat Party, folks. Stone cold face the whole time.
Six weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Those are all Republicans clapping.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all
Wait for it.
7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Look at the stark difference. Clapping, stone cold faces. Clapping, stone cold faces. Stark difference, isn't it?
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our
Those are Democrats running their mouth. Let that sink in. Interrupting the President of the United States.
country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to.
Now, that is Representative Al Green, and he's up there running his mouth a lot. And, yeah.
Direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
And yes, I am playing this for a reason, so bear with me.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Look at him with that cane.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Yep, he got himself removed from the chamber. Off to the great start, aren't we, Democrats? Let me skip ahead here. Let me skip to where he acknowledges a few people.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long distance race, 5 hours. The poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Not according to Democrats. Democrats blocked a bill in the Senate that would have qualified only there only be met there'll be sorry getting tongue tied that there shouldn't be any males in female sports. Democrats voted against it in the name of what's that word they like to use? Diversity. But they want us to take them seriously.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
No arguments here.
It was in sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team or they will lose all federal funding.
Now you can't see it with the camera angles, but Democrats still have a stone cold look on their face. See everybody standing up to clap and look at all them stone cold faces over there.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long distance race, 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Looking for a certain spot here. I think this is it.
Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Is this it?
Thank you, Cash.
Okay. Looking for I know it's
They've
in here.
already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them.
As I said, we're not going through
Good
this no
job. They've
speech.
all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. The best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them.
Okay, this is what I'm
He's
looking
always
for.
dreamed of becoming. In the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Yes. That's a 13-year-old black boy. And Democrats couldn't stand up for him. You see this 13-year-old black boy right here? In fact, let me go get that picture. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get that picture. 13-year-old black boy. And Democrats couldn't even stand up for him. Let's go in my files here. We're going to go over to, okay. I think I put it in here. Maybe it's in the download section. Here we go. This is the young man Donald Trump's talking about. And this is the young man the Democrats refuse to stand up for. Let that sink in. Now listen to what Donald Trump is about to reward this young man with. DJ Daniel.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live.
Mm-hmm.
That was more than 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. This young man survived cancer, and the Democrat Party couldn't stand up and clap for him. Just let that sink in. This young man, DJ Daniel, survived cancer. This young man right here survived cancer. And the Democrat Party could not stand up for him because they had so much hatred for Trump. Just let that sink in for a minute. By the way, I got 8 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App, support the show. Hit the Super Chat, support the show.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him, And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
No, you didn't mishear that, and no, that was not misinformation, as some butthurt blues like to say. Donald Trump made this young man a member of the Secret Service, and Democrats couldn't stand up and clap for that. Now, before we continue with my video presentation, like as I said, we're not going to go through the whole Trump's whole speech, but we are going to cover how people are responding to the Democrats' disrespect during this speech, and it ain't pretty. So,
Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down. Inflation is getting worse, not better. Prices of groceries, gas, housing, and yes, eggs. That's what you just said. That's what you just said. Since day one, that ain't true.
yeah, this is an actual ad. This is propaganda of the Democrat Party. What's going on, AL? Just give me 1 second here. Y'all want to come up, you can do so. If your butthurt blue, you want to come up, you can do so too. But let me keep playing this.
That's what you just said. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down. Inflation is getting worse, not better. Prices of groceries, gas.
This isn't AI either. This is all of them with the same talking points.
Housing, and yes, eggs. He's letting Elon Musk take a chainsaw, giving him access to Americans' most sensitive data. Your social security numbers, tax returns. He's frozen federal funding for cancer research, veterans service, payments to family farmers, and so much more. Why? Republican plan is very simple. Families lose, while billionaires win. And that is the truth.
This is what you call propaganda, folks. Now let's listen to how normal citizens are responding to this.
Useless Democrat members of Congress. What the hell do you stand for? Whose side are you on? Do you even stand at this point? Because
Don't feel bad, sister. I've been asking that question for years. What the hell do the Democrats stand for? The world will never know.
you wouldn't stand for a child with cancer. You didn't stand for a widow. You wouldn't stand for...
Nope, they wouldn't. They wouldn't stand for that young man. They wouldn't stand for DJ Daniel. They wouldn't stand for Laken Riley's family. They wouldn't stand for the man that got rescued from Russia.
a mother who lost her child. It only seems like you'll stand up for yourself and you'll stand up for the money laundering that's going on in Ukraine.
Pretty much.
Well done. Bravo for last night during the State of the Union, because the only thing that you guys proved was how useless you are. And you proved to each and every single one of your constituents that you are for yourself and nobody else.
After watching that address to Congress last night by President Trump, I have no other words, but I am utterly disgusted with the Democratic Party. I understand that you have a very strong dislike for President Trump. You booed everything that he has accomplished since he's gotten into office.
Yeah, pretty much.
But to not stand and clap for a 13-year-old terminally ill child when he got his wish showed that you are evil, disgusting, uncompassionate, inhumane people. And I don't think I would ever return to the Democratic Party again after watching that. To dislike the president is one thing, to boo him is one thing, but to not support a child, I have
Yep.
no words.
The disrespect and the hate from the Democrats tonight during Trump's speech was absolutely disgusting. How can you claim that you are all for America and you are so patriotic?
Wait, I thought the Democrats were a party of, what did they say? Call themselves, they're the party of joy. Don't you see so much joy in the Democrat Party now?
But yet you sit back and pray on the downfall of your president.
Yep.
Whether you like him or not, he is your president, and that's exactly what he'll be for the next 4 years.
See, the difference between me and Stephen A. Smith
Don't worry, we're going to get to Stephen A. Smith for in a minute.
is I'm not holding out for a Democratic candidate.
Neither am I. I am not waiting for them to get their shit together because we all know that's never going to happen.
I'm not holding out for the Democrats to get their shit together. I'm not holding out for the Democrats to realize they're full of shit, to take some accountability for how terrible you've been, how terrible your ideas have been, how you flat out lost and have been losing. I'm not waiting. He's sitting here, I like this person, I like Cuomo, I like this person. I'm not sitting around waiting for these people, bro. J.D. Vance is going to be 2028, if anything. I'm not waiting for the Democrats. Why do you want to go home to the Democrats so bad, Stephen A? I really need to know this. You've consistently pointed out all their bullshit, and you still want to go back to these people? It's like laying out all the red flags in your ex-girlfriend, but you want to go back. Why?
That's what you just.
But yeah, that's just a sample of what normal people think of the Democrat Party right now. That's just a sample of what. Once again, that's just a sample of what normal people think of the Democrat Party right now. Now, believe it or not, Stephen A. Smith had something to say about how the Democrats have been operating recently, and he just released this video. Here we go.
Before we go, I want to mention that President Donald Trump will deliver an address tonight in prime time to the House and Senate lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The speech will resemble something like a State of the Union address. Meanwhile, Democrats today have gone out of their way to post messages on social media about the current Trump administration and what's happening to American lives. The problem is they're all literally saying the same damn thing.
I just showed you. Now look at his take on it.
Don't believe me? Check it out.
I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency.
Yes, I know. That was actually Chuck Schumer trying to cuss. There's going to be a lot of cussing going on, but believe it or not, it's not going to be coming from me. Oh, shit. Sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on here? Y'all can't see the video? Huh. What is going on? No vid. Oh, come on. Okay, let me hold on. Let me do this. Let's remove you. Hold on, folks. Crap. All right, let me just close out this section. Let me share again. Let's see what happens when I share again. All right. Present. Share screen. All right. Can y'all see that? Press the one in the chat if you can see it now. All right. I'm going to start the video over again. Sorry about that.
Before we go, I want to mention that President Donald Trump will deliver an address tonight in prime time to the House and Senate lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The speech will resemble something like a State of the Union address. Meanwhile, Democrats today have gone out of their way to post messages on social media about the current Trump administration and what's happening to American lives. The problem is they're all literally saying the same damn thing. Don't believe me? Check it out.
I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true.
You can't make this stuff up, can you? Yes, that is Chuck Schumer. But it gets worse.
That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse.
Inflation
Not
is
better.
getting
The
worse.
prices of grocery,
Not better.
gas,
Cost of
houses,
groceries.
I couldn't make this crap up if I tried. Y'all see it for yourselves, don't you?
Now you see why Stephen A. Smith was in the polls as a presidential candidate? See what I'm talking about? You see that idiocy right there?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about something, people being tone deaf. Why the hell would 22 Democratic senators be literally echoing the same thing and think that would resonate with the American people? All it shows...
Actually, because I do have an answer for that. Because they listen to dumbass consultants. That's why they do it.
is that the same fabric of our democracy is unchanging in the eyes of some of these officials, and as a result, the constituency they represent, which is why Donald Trump is in office.
Pretty much.
What, do I have to come up to Capitol Hill and give you lessons? Seriously, you don't get.
Actually, I wish he would, but the truth of the matter is, they probably wouldn't listen to him. So you can try to give him lessons, but
It. All you did, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer. Let's all get together. Let's put this in a prompter, and all together, albeit in separate rooms, we'll grab a microphone and say the same damn thing. And that's what's going to resonate with the American people. And then you wonder why you're no longer in power. You wonder why.
Oh, I don't wonder why they're no longer in power.
Trump is in the White House. You wonder why a vice president like J.D. Vance has the authority to spew in the direction of the president of another nation. Don't you get what I've been telling you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put it right. Follow me, the camera. Follow me. Let me give it to you. I'm going to use the saying from my old buddy, God rest his soul, Joe Madison, the Black Eagle. I'm going to put it where the goats can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me because I'm going to cuss here, only for the purposes of accentuating a point about Donald Trump. Chuck Schumer and the typical politicians, oh, inflation is high. Oh, look at them pointing the fingers at the migrants.
Oh yeah, inflation has been high for a minute. Inflation has been high since the Biden administration, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Oh, look at them blaming immigration. They don't care about you. Oh, by the way, look, they don't care about you. Well, why would you bother people from the LGBTQ community? Why would you bother?
Oh, believe it or not, we're going to get to immigration in this live stream too.
Folks with transgender.
By the way, I got 21 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit my Cash App, support the show. Hit my Super Chat, support the show. Support your interests.
And all of that. Why would you do that? That is what the Democrats say. That's what most politicians would say. Here's Trump. They're pieces of shit. They don't give a shit about you. It's rigged. They've hoodwinked you all the time.
Don't talk about Jasmine Crockett like that. And once again, we're going to get to her next.
They think you're a freaking joke. They give you the middle finger anytime they want to.
Pretty much, yes.
Here's Trump. Fuck them. They ain't worth
Ooh,
shit.
damn.
And do you know what his followers say, yeah, that's how we want you talking to those politicians who've been stealing our money all of these years. It's not what he says. It's how he says it. He does it with vitriol and venom to show a disrespect to politicians who the public have no respect for because they feel they've been hoodwinked by those same politicians.
Pretty
He's
much.
using it to separate himself from the cesspool that is Capitol Hill. And how does Capitol Hill respond? By showing them they're still Capitol Hill.
Pretty much. Now, before we continue, we got to talk about good old. So I'll get the picture here. Yeah, if my mouse don't stop playing around. All right, we need to talk about good old Jasmine Crockett. Oh boy. I'm starting to think Jasmine Crockett is a plant. Probably by Soros, but at this point, we're going to say the DNC allegedly to make black women look bad. And I do mean really, really, really bad. But don't take my word for it. Hear it from a black woman herself. And shout out to the Standard Truth podcast.
Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to the Standard of Truth podcast, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. Dear ones, I don't know if you had an opportunity to
Yes, she's a conservative black woman. They do exist.
watch the State
Candace Owens isn't the only one.
of the Union address to Congress last night, but President Donald Trump left the ball on the field. And unfortunately, the Democratic Party, they left self-respect, American patriotism, and nationalism. That just went completely out of the window.
Could not have said it better.
I am convinced that the Democratic Party today, as we know it, they hate America. And more important,
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
than that, it is one thing to disagree with the policies of this administration. It is a completely different animal to completely disrespect the office of the president. And so what we watched last night was several Democrats, mostly all of the Democratic Party, they were in one voice, completely in opposition to anything and everything President Trump said, including some of the most heartwarming and heartfelt sentiments of the evening that were bipartisan by and large. We saw the Democrats overwhelmingly disavow and refuse to stand up, clap, or acknowledge a young cancer survivor who was celebrated last night at the State of the Union address. We watched them completely disrespect the memory of Laken Riley without even acknowledging the fact that this young woman lost her life at the hands of an illegal migrant. So many situations and circumstances Trump attempted to bring to the forefront of the American people to unify this country. And he said it best. It doesn't matter what he does. No matter what he does, nothing is going to make these evil, wicked, nasty, perverted people happy.
Nope, not likely at all. I call people don't understand. I call them butthurt blue for a reason. But let's continue.
But what brings me to this video is the shameful and disgusting, and unprofessional
Can't hear me?
demeanor of one particular
Okay, hold on.
congresswoman out of Texas, and that is Congresswoman.
Okay. What's going on with StreamYards today, man? All right. All right, press 1 if you can hear me now. Press 1 if you can hear me now. All right, good. StreamYard want to act a fool today. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but I need to get that stuff together, man. All right, let me share my screen again. What's the name of that video? Yeah, the most hood rat. All right, let's continue the video.
Jasmine Crockett. We have stooped so low by electing the worst representations of us that I am embarrassed. She does not represent me, but I am embarrassed for her. And she lacks so much self-awareness that she can't even see that.
Oh, yeah, that's an understatement.
That her ignorant, ghetto, orangutan behavior is an embarrassment to the office that she holds. She is a disgrace. She
talking about the heifer from your state, AL.
Is a representative of the matriarchal miscreant behavior that is effectively tearing down the Black American female image. And I am embarrassed for her. Whoever raised you needs to have their head checked. You are an embarrassment to your family. You are an embarrassment to Black women, and you are an embarrassment to the office of Congress.
Damn.
Woman that you hold. I don't know who elected her, but I am praying that she continues to drill down on the ignorance so that people can see that all of this sister girl, yes, queen, lashes and hair and just ignorant behavior is unbecoming of the office that she holds. Take a look at this video. I want you guys to see this. This woman, she is trifling and shameful. Take a look at this.
She ain't lying either.
Oh, shout out to Black Conservative Perspective for putting this clip together. I'll link to the original video in the description box below, but take a look at this.
He's spewing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't,
Yes, that was Jasmine Crockett. Hear it for yourself.
We showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico.
Ghetto as hell.
Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up. Because
I want to respond to that, but I'm going to hold my peace for now.
I'm ready to get on with it.
That while we may not have the numbers just yet, that doesn't mean that we don't have fight left in our bodies. And so I am going to fight him every step of the way until we get what we deserve, because it was my ancestors that built this motherfucker.
Yeah, you heard that. You heard that right. It was my ancestors that built this motherfucker. Congresswoman from Dallas, Texas, Jasmine Crockett, everybody.
Okay, I'm done now. I'm done.
First of all, thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
You can't make this shit up, folks.
This broad is shameful. She is shameful. She is ignorant. And I am convinced I am convinced that she continues to display this type of behavior because she's a puppet. She is a puppet, and most of the Democrats, all of them, in fact, because they're bleeding for cash right now, they all were instructed that they better not show any sort of agreement with President Trump because the donors that are funding their campaigns told them to do so. They are
like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat, support the show.
Literally at the behest of the George Soroses of the world, the Pritzkers, the Disneys, all of these billionaire donors who are upset and angry that the country as we know it is moving more ideologically to the right. They don't want that. These people live, eat, breathe, and sleep wickedness. And so
thanks for that Super Chat. A ratchet chain, that's a new one on me. I hear that, but it applies. So let me give you your salute. Come on. Here we go. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors. Oh, and I'll acknowledge you. Support the show. Yeah, I hear you, brother. All right, let me continue.
They found the perfect matriarchal miscreant in order to disseminate their message of division and hatred for this country. Not one member of the Congressional Black Caucus stood up, and in fact, the city slicker himself, Al Green from the state of Texas with the ultra perm and that stupid ignorant cane of his had to be escorted out because these black Marxists are so disrespectful. They are an embarrassment. They don't represent the black community. Nope. They don't represent America. These people exhibit treasonous behavior, and every single last one of them need to be voted out.
Agreed. And she's not wrong because for those of you who don't know, Jasmine Crockett came out and said that Donald Trump is an enemy of the state. Yes, Jasmine Crockett called the President of the United States an enemy of a state. All I really have to say to that is she's lucky she's in America. Because in other countries, politicians disappear for saying shit like that. But nobody wants to talk about that. What's going on, Snowman? We got the Snowman in the building. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat. Support the show. Snowman and Mrs. Snowman, tax in effect. But yeah, we're talking about Jasmine Crockett and her cussing spree. And no, I didn't make that up, Snowman. She really has been on the cussing spree. In fact, let me rewind this video. I'll show you myself.
Description box below, but take a look at this.
He's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we ain't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't.
Yes, that's Representative Jasmine Crockett of Dallas, Texas. Sorry, Al.
You know, we showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit.
You ain't got no sense either, sweetheart. No sense whatsoever.
Coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams.
This is not.
Oh, For those of you who don't know, she walked out of Donald Trump's speech to sell those shirts. Yeah, I ain't gonna put your culture comment, but I understand the sentiment. I most certainly understand the sentiment.
What we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it.
Oh boy. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up. Is that how a congresswoman conducts herself, ma'am?
That while we may not have,
And unfortunately for me and other millennials, yes, she's not Gen X. She's a millennial. Even worse, she's an older millennial. She's actually about a year older than me. And this is embarrassing. But anyway.
the numbers just yet. That doesn't mean that we don't have fight left in our bodies. And so I am going to fight him every step of the way until we get what we deserve, because it was my ancestors that built this motherfucker. Okay, I'm done now. I'm done.
First of all, thank you for making the back.
My ancestors that built this mother. Okay. I remember being in college with black chicks like this who thought they were so cute and smart until they got grades back and then wow, back and then they would want to study partners. They were dumb. Yep. I don't know, Ray. Maybe it was the department. Maybe it was the department that I was in. Well, I was just for FYI. I was into programming and graphic designs, and I just didn't see that many black women there. And the ones I did see, they usually had some sort of they had some sense. But I don't doubt what you're saying at all. Especially after seeing how some of these so-called most educated sisters conduct themselves. It's embarrassing. But let's continue.
Back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
Well, actually, I'm gonna respond to that. I wish you would grow a pair of ovaries and stop being a Democrat's hoe. How about that? Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. But let me finish this video out for.
This broad is shameful. She is shameful. She is ignorant. And I am convinced that she continues to display this type of behavior because she's a puppet. She is a puppet, and most of the Democrats, all of them, in fact, because they're bleeding for cash right now, they all were instructed that they better not show any sort of agreement with President Trump because the donors that are funding their campaigns told them to do so. They are literally at the behest of the George Soroses of the world, the Pritzkers, the Disneys, all of these billionaire donors who are upset and angry that the country as we know it is moving more ideologically to the right. They don't want that. These people live, eat, breathe, and sleep wickedness. And so they found the perfect matriarchal miscreant in order to disseminate their message of division and hatred for this country. Not one member of the Congressional Black Caucus stood up. And in fact, the city slicker himself, Al Green from the state of Texas with the ultra perm and that stupid ignorant cane of his, had to be escorted out because these black Marxists are so disrespectful. They are an embarrassment. They don't represent the Black community. They don't represent America. These people exhibit treasonous behavior, and every single last one of them need to be voted out. So what we're going to do now, I just want to engage with the nonsensical tirade that Jasmine Crockett went on. First of all, this woman is a poor example of a female. So I'm not going to call her a woman. I will call her a female. Are you not? You have.
Damn, I'll be called. If I had said this, I would be called all kinds of sexist, blah, blah. You hate black women, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's a black woman saying it.
A JD degree. I'm not sure if you have a master's degree, but this is a pseudo educated woman. Do you mean to tell me that in front of the cameras, you can't find any other vocabulary words to pull from out of the sky or the abyss of words to be used? Are these the only words that you could think of was profane language to communicate your disagreement with this political agenda of President Trump? You can't even articulate what you emphatically disagree with that he's pushing that's harmful to America. You are just spouting ignorant, nonsensical talking points that don't have a basis in reality. And if America is telling you by and large that this is what we want, this would be an opportunity for you to show yourself poised and dignified and classy, and then articulate why we do not fundamentally agree with everything that President Trump is doing. He is leading from a place of strength. And as a Democrat lawmaker, I'm going to continue to represent the ideals of the people who elected me. And there are some things that we need to work with. But overall, God bless Donald Trump. God bless America. Like, rise to the occasion of class, but you low class, you low down, and you trifling. You ain't got it in you. You ain't got it in you to function in your freedom and to teach the people that you've been called to serve how to function in their freedom and how to go out here and become the best version of themselves, despite the fact that you're not getting your way. This woman acts like a petulant child. She uses profane language because she doesn't have the word bank to communicate effectively. And she is so high off the hopium of all of this media attention, she doesn't realize that the media is making a fool out of her. She doesn't realize that the Democrat Party is making a fool out of her, just like they made a fool out of Kamala Harris. This is not going to end well for her. All of the money, I hope it is worth it, that you have sold your soul for 30 pieces of silver. I hope it is worth it, because you are a disgrace to your race, not because you don't agree with Donald Trump, but because of how she conducts herself on the world stage. What is wrong with you being an elected official cursing like this on network television? Why are you doing this? You and your little stupid signs and your stupid shirts that didn't even make any sense. At this State of the Union address, they have these little placards that I'm sure George Soros paid for, because none of them have any money in the campaign coffers, probably. They was talking about save Medicare. Who is trying to get rid of Medicare? Nobody. In fact, what we're doing is we're digging real deep, trying to find all of the corruption and all of the fraud.
Yep, that's what Doge is doing. Department of Government Efficiency. And there is a hell of a lot of fraud in Medicare. Good Lord.
That you were pushing so that we can make sure that Social Security and Medicare are adequately funded before they become.
Before we continue, did you know Doge found that we were spending $2.7 trillion on Medicare and Medicaid in foreign countries? not on American taxpayer citizens. $2.7 trillion worth of Medicare and Medicaid. Yes, sadly, she's an older millennial. I'm 42, and she acted like that. Sadly.
Insolvent. Then there was another little placard sign talking about help our veterans. Donald Trump is
He's also single. Gee, I wonder why.
one of the most pro-veteran presidents that we have had in my lifetime. He is always looking to take care of our veterans because he is a commander-in-chief. He wants our military current service members to be well taken care of and to have the resources that they need. And then he wants to also make sure that there's adequate funding to take care of the ones who've already served. He is a military manservant. He understands what it means to lay your life down for the greatest country that has ever lived on the face of this earth. How dare you people hold up signs that had nothing to do with nothing? They just wanted to hold signs and they looked stupid and they looked silly. And they showed the wickedness and the darkness of their heart. I told you these people, they are a bunch of liars, psychopaths, and they are absolutely anti-Christian bigots. How can you be against getting biological men out of women's sports, especially when you know the vast majority of people that you represent don't want that? How can you not stand and clap for Laken Riley's mother and sister who were there standing on her behalf and thanking President Trump for actually doing something about the open border policies that you effectively supported that had in turn caused harm to people? The reason why they had to act that way and show out is because they already know that they are down bad and that they are losing, and they lack so much self-awareness that they're unable to realize that they are done. When I tell you the Democrats are done, they are stick a fork in it done. At this point, they just need to give in and give it up. Because the more they push back against the American people, the more Donald Trump's approval numbers are going to increase. This display of the lack of decorum and disrespect for the office. You don't have to like Donald Trump. You don't even have to. This ain't even about him. This is
Yeah. As much as I couldn't stand Joe Biden, as much as I thought he was a dementia patient, I would never say with a straight face that that man was the enemy of the state. Now, do I think his policies help the country? No. But to come out and say on live air that he's the enemy of the state, you have to understand. In other countries, Jasmine Crockett could have been unalive for that. Can you imagine Jasmine Crockett being in North Korea and saying Kim Jong-un is the enemy of the state? How long would she be living? How long would she live, folks? How long would she live after that? Something to think about.
Decades-old tradition where the president addresses the nation and addresses the Congress. It is customary for you to stand up, not because you respect him, but because you respect the office. At least I would say that the Democratic senators at least had some decorum about themselves, and they stood up when the commander-in-chief entered the room. But the rest of these low-budget, broke-down, busted and disgusted Congress people, the House of Representatives, no. They showed their whole entire tail. And I don't understand how that many lawmakers that hate this country made it into an elected office. How did that happen? It happened, I believe, because the American educational system has been hijacked by a bunch of communists and Marxists. That's who's funding the teachers union. It is those who.
All right, that's enough of that. Now, my last video, we're going to talk about immigration a little bit. For those of you who don't know, the mayors of sanctuary cities were called up to Congress. And how can I say this? Lucy, you got some explaining to do. And only wasn't me saying it, it was Representative Byron Donalds. Let's watch.
Donalds from Florida.
Thank you, Chairman. This is my third term on the Oversight Committee. We've been talking about illegal immigration and oversight the entire time. I remember we had a group of this committee that went down to the El Paso section of the border. This was back in February, March of 2021. And during that time period, we were at one of the holding centers, and there were these buses that were coming to the detention facility, and they were picking up 30 kids, 50 kids at random, walking out of the facility. And when I went over to question the bus driver that was transporting these kids, border agents told me, as a member of Congress, that you're not allowed to question the bus driver. And of course, people knowing me, I didn't take no for an answer. And I repeated the question. And I was told that this bus of children was leaving El Paso and going to San Diego. And so what was occurring under the Biden administration is that they were busing unaccompanied minors all across the United States for one reason and one reason only. And that was because they did not want the press to see the pictures of kids in cages. They did not want to see our borders being overrun. They wanted to disperse that problem all through the United States. That is the reckless history of illegal immigration under Joe Biden and the Democrat Party. Mayor Johnston of Denver, you lamented earlier that there were 10 to 11 buses coming per day to your city. Did you ever talk to Joe Biden about why this was happening to your community?
Thank you, Congressman. I both reached out to Governor Abbott from Texas. He didn't respond, and I did.
Why would you reach out to Governor Abbott of Texas when it is Joe Biden, the former commander-in-chief, that opened up our borders? Why didn't you talk to him?
Well, our buses directly were being sent from Governor Abbott in Texas. So that was why we reached out to say, we're happy to collaborate on a coordinated entry system. We understand no one state or no one city should bear the entire brunt of this, but let's collaborate.
You have to understand something. They had a whole app for these people to use so they could get in the country. That's how so many got in. They had an app. They actually had a cell phone app that they could use so they can get in this country illegally.
Collaborate, but I did.
So I'm glad you said that, because that brings me to my next point. Governor Abbott and Governor DeSantis, when they started moving illegal aliens out of their states, who were bearing the brunt of what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were doing, and they've sent them to Denver, they sent them to Chicago, they sent them to New York, they sent them to Martha's Vineyard. The reason why they did that is because you four could hide behind the realities of illegal immigration on border towns all through our country and on cities and states who did not want to see illegal immigration, but did not have the political representation to go to the White House. And only when it showed up on your doorstep did you get upset. Mayor Johnston, coming back to you, how much did your city spend on illegal immigration? Do you have a round number?
Over the last couple of years.
Now, y'all just wait for some of these answers.
On all newcomers, whatever their status was, it's around 79 million since 2022.
79 million. Mayor Johnson, Chicago. How much has the city of Chicago spent on illegal immigration?
Let's start right there. $79 million on illegal immigration for one state. Now listen to Mayor Brandon Johnson's response to this. Or should I say, lack of response to this.
Immigration?
If you're referring to the 2022 up to 2024 of the buses coming from Texas, roughly the same percentage of the state of Texas, about 1% of our overall budget.
What is that? Because I don't have the city's budget in front of me. Numbers.
It's 1%. And if you want the actual calculation, we can make sure someone.
You're the mayor. You don't have the math in front of you.
It's 1%.
You knew you were coming to Washington to get grilled on the illegal immigration situation, and you don't have your numbers in front of you? Really, bruh? Really?
Percent of the overall budget over the last 4 years.
That's why you're a failing
which
mayor.
is the
Mayor
same
Adams,
number that
how
was
much did
sent
the city
from
of
us
New
from
York
the
actually
state
spend
of
on
Texas.
illegal immigration? Mayor Johnson, I already asked you. You don't have a hard number, and if you don't have a hard number, you're not running your city well. Mayor Adams, how much did the city of New York actually spend on illegal immigration?
6.9 billion of taxpayers.
$6.9 billion of taxpayer money on a problem that was fostered on the American people. Mayor Wu, in the city of Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city
number.
of Boston has spent on illegal immigration.
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between immigration status.
Do you
as
manage
part
your
of our
budget
city
or not,
policies.
Mayor Wu?
That is how we keep
Mayor
our city
Wu, do
safe.
you manage
We
your
have
budget or
the
not?
numbers to prove it. I manage my budget. I have a AAA bond rating dating back 10 years.
So to
for
the city of Boston,
budget.
just understand that your mayor does not care how much of your resources she has spent on people who are not citizens
The city of Boston
the city of
is
Boston.
sick of having people
reclaiming my
outside
time.
Boston
Mr.
telling
Bear,
us what
Mr.
we
Bear, I
need.
have a question for you because I understand Cato's perspective when it comes to
Yeah. This is DEI for sure. Oh boy.
illegal immigration. I understand that the Cato Institute for a long time has had a standard of actually having open immigration into the United States. Generally speaking, I don't want to get into specifics.
We support legal immigration. We want immigration to be legal.
Let me ask you this question, because one of the great libertarians of the modern era, Milton Friedman, famously said, you can either have open borders or a welfare state, but you have to choose. Mr. Beer, what do you choose?
Milton Friedman said he wanted to allow illegal immigration to continue. I disagree with Milton Friedman's position on that. We should have legal immigration and build a wall around the welfare state, not around the country. That's in the best interest of taxpayers.
And I would argue that under the current system where you have sanctuary cities popping up, it is not possible to build that wall. So America has to choose, Mr. Beer, you're done. America has to choose between securing our nation or protecting the taxpayer. I choose secure the nation. I yield back.
Gentlemen,
you heard Representative Byron Donalds. They wasted all this money on illegal immigrants. $6.6 billion in New York alone, just on illegal migrants. Not on crime, which has risen since the legal migrants got there, but on illegal migrants, some of which who commit multiple crimes. But as I said, as the title stream says, read the room. Your house is burning butthurt blue. And if it's not obvious by the videos I just played, I don't know what to tell you. But the vote blue no matter who crowd, their house is burning. Whether they realize it or not, their house is burning. And if they don't realize it, well, at this point, it's not my problem. That is all I have today for a stream. I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.
Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.